Well, why is it broken? Why does it need a reboot?
There's been a massive transition and disruption that's happened in the last few years as businesses shift to the cloud and they shift to mobile, the Internet of Things. And the Internet and the IP networks that we have today were never designed to support the kind of virtualized environment we see now. So we need to have a facelift.
Okay, a facelift. We'll come to that in a minute. But it seems to work all right when I use my PC.
For many consumer apps, it works pretty well. However, to take us into the future, in just the next 5 years, we'll have 25 to 50 billion devices connected to the Internet. That's the Internet of Things. We will start moving all applications, not just consumer, but business, into the cloud. And today's IP networks, which were designed 20 years ago, when there was only 16 million people on the Internet and less than 100 million mobile users, was never designed for this kind of traffic load or for the kind of security problems that have come with it. So we need to design an Internet, and we need to design business IP networks for the modern world.
Okay, this is the new Internet protocol you're talking about. Now, in layman's terms, describe it to me.
Okay. It's not so much a new Internet protocol. It's a new way to build IP networks. So the old IP networks were designed 20 years ago when the world was very different. The new IP networks are based on software instead of hardware, and they're highly virtualized. They're designed to run in the cloud, they're designed for mobile applications, and they're designed for better security.
Okay, so these are all the advantages. I mean, will it cost more?
It should cost much less. That's the point. As you move from hardware to software, costs drop, and we can innovate at the pace of business, and that's the main value.
So you got to roll this out, haven't you, essentially?
Yes. So it took 10 years to transition to IP networks in the 90s. And it'll probably take 5 to 10 years to transition from the old IP to the new IP.
Will I notice anything different when I'm using my smartphone or using my tablet?
Yes. What you should notice is you will end up with networks that are designed for you. Every person, every application can have their own network with the level of quality and security that you need based on where you are and what you're trying to do.
Christine, I want to just change tack now and talk to you as, with your hat on as a woman, as a CMO of this technology company. Now, how are things changing for women in Silicon Valley?
Tech in general and the tech industry is a great place for women. It's a great place for young talent in general, especially if you're curious and you're entrepreneurial. When I came into the tech industry, it was in the last big transition, the transition to what is now the old IP. Now there's this huge tectonic shift that's underway as we transition to the new IP and to the cloud and the Internet of Things. And what happens is you see amazing growth, and anytime there's growth, there's opportunity.
Opportunity for all, but did you ever come across perhaps a discrimination as a woman ever?
Tech's a great industry for anybody who's smart and curious.
It's quite democratic, I suppose.
It's a meritocracy.
Yeah.
Tech's a meritocracy. Now, there are certainly challenges that the tech industry faces for women. We don't attract enough young women. We don't attract enough women in the school systems globally for coding,
exactly.
the language of machines.
I was going to say developers.
Yes.
That's the thing,
yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
Why
Precisely.
is that the case, do you think?
Well, I know when I was coming into the school system in the tech world, it didn't feel very accommodating. It felt cold. It felt isolating. So I went a slightly different route, but I still ended up in tech as well because there is so much opportunity. And if you want to lead, if you want to invent, tech's the best place to be. And I think over time, we'll see that women will have more opportunities both in the engineering spaces as well at the top of
the question is, you've got to change people's mindsets still, don't you?
Yeah.
And how do you win people's hearts and minds, women's hearts and minds, towards the tech industry from a perspective of coding, developing, etc.
You know, I think you don't talk about what you make, you talk about what you make possible. And if women can see, and all people can see, their opportunity to change the world, which is literally what is happening right now as we transition to the new IP and we transition to cloud and mobile, you can truly change the world with an idea. And I think all people, women, young talent in general, want that opportunity to make an impact.
Just a final word, Christian. You've used the word mobile several times, and it's not a word which we used to hear that often in the context of where you're placing it, let's say 3 years ago. But in Asia, it's absolutely vital.
Absolutely. Mobile is the way things will be connected in the future. And as we connect people together, we need networks and network infrastructure, which is where the new IP comes in, to make those high-speed connections possible and secure.